Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing all right. So I'm on for a bit of crafting. Now we have challenges in Auntie Vera Land, the Facebook group. I'll link that down below if you want to join in. And we need to make a little scrappy journal to put some of our challenge pieces in. So what I thought I would do is use one of these covers. Now I made these a year or two ago. And I just covered some A4 craft envelope in wallpaper that I had here. I love this one. Look at that wallpaper. It's magnificent. I'm going to hoard that for a bit longer, I think, and do a journal with it another day. But I think for today I'm going to use this one. So it's a little bit crooked with the lines, but I can live with that. The first thing I want to do is cover the inside of it. So I've decided to do that. I'm going to use some fabric. So I had a look at my fabric cupboard and just grabbed like the first sort of plainish one that I could find, which was this one. I think that'll look quite nice. So that's the first task. So I have to cut it down, which I'm dreading because I'm really bad at cutting fabric. But what I might do is figure out how wide we want it. Put that down. So it's pretty sticky here tonight. It's 28 today, but still quite humid, which is uncomfortable. Drains you of all your energy. So that'll look pretty good, and then we've just got to cut it down. I'm debating whether I want to stitch, but I don't think I need to. Don't need to sew everything. You start getting in the habit, don't you? Right, there's a bit for my scrap bin. So it'll be like that. Don't know whether I should rip this side off so it frays a bit like the others. You know, I sort of really don't care with this one. It's even a bit crooked, but... Let's see what I can do there. Yeah, that's not going to work. The fabric is not my strong point. But I have to get over that and use it a fair bit more because I've got stacks of stuff now. I can always trim any bits that overhang too much anyway. I think the idea with this journal is not to be too fussy. So I'm going to use some PVA to stick this down, I think. So I've got my little palette. Turn this around and see which side I like better. After I say don't be too fussy. Kind of like it like that. And I've got a brush. Got some PVA glue here. Big Crafter's Choice one that I grabbed from Spotlight. And I have put some greaseproof paper on the top so I can still open it. Now that's just stuck in there. In other words, it works good, the glue. Might have to get some more greaseproof paper. Just I'll put it in there. That's way too much. Well, I say that, but it might be the right amount. I don't know. Don't use it enough. Shall see if I can get that. Oh, yeah, that might work. Now I might just add a little bit of water. Give that a bit of a mix. it on. I might do one half and the other half. Since it is so sort of warm in here, it'll probably dry pretty quick. I'll probably use only just enough glue. Right, we want it this way. Get the fluff off. See if I can pull it down a little tad there. Try and get some of the wrinkles. Bucket's sticking all right. I mean, you would, you know, most people probably would sew around it just to make sure it holds, but bits come up. Since it's my journal, if little bits come up, I can always stick them down again with something. Get a bit slack with my use of words. All right, so now we'll do the other side. So flip that back. All my glue dries in this weather. So I haven't done too much today. A bit of sweeping outside and water the plants, the usual stuff. Need to get out in the garden a lot more. But I'm trying to get used to the hot weather. Alright, that looks good. So I'll just let that drop down. Fluff off. I like the fabric, it's nice. Now again, I just want to stick some where it's not sticking very well. I don't know how I managed to get glue everywhere, but I do. And I've only just put some new vinyl down because the old stuff was getting a bit yucky. Now, there's a bit of a glue stain there, so it'll be interesting to see how that dries up. Whether it dries up, doesn't matter though, it's just a scrappy journal, and we might end up putting pockets or something in there if it bothers me. So I think that's the way I wanted it. Snip off this little bit. Now, I didn't really read the instructions, But I'm pretty sure it was something like make sure there's about 10 pages or something in it for the embellishments that we make during the year. So I think I can manage that. Now what I might do is just go and rinse my brush and my little palette while this dries, and then we'll come back and do the pages. Okay, so it should be pretty well dry, and you can still see the glue, but that is all right. Now, what I've got to put in it, put my scissors away. I have a paper bag that someone has stamped on, which makes me think it might have come in a happy mail. It says dream mode, that will do. I have got this assortment of papers. Now this is just come out of a poetry pamphlet that I think my mum gets, and she has tea or coffee dyed them. I think they're tea dyed. So they can go in. I'm making it quite scrappy. This is just some Chinese textbook. This is some, I don't know, journal thing that I grabbed some copies of it out of the recycle bins at the shop, and I thought the lines would be cool to back tags and that with, so I've decided to tea dye some of that. Just exercise book page, then a random assortment of my more scrappier papers just to use them up. Some music paper that my mum has dyed. Now that looks coffee dyed, doesn't smell coffee dyed though. Maybe she dried them outside. Maybe that gets rid of the smell. I should start doing that. This is some that I used a plastic doily on, but I didn't really like the way it turned out. It'll be perfect for this project. So that is what I've got. So I'll grab a bone folder. Now I am wondering whether it's going to be too much, because we're still going to stick our embellishments in, but on the other hand, cover should be pretty forgiving, really. So I'm just going to do it. Be brave. So just figure out which way we want the pages. Got the shakes today. So I've been missing my craft room. I just haven't been doing enough crafting lately. I think it's depressing me, so I'm going to get in here and start doing a whole lot of crafting, methinks. Got to get back into the groove of it. Been a bit of a stressful time, which I'm absolutely sick of. So yeah, I think some craft therapy will be good. Grandma's feather bed. I like the contrast of that. So I'll have that on the outside. Now I'm not cutting them down because it's an A4 envelope, so they seem to fit perfectly. Couldn't be any easier. It's got a bit of a rip, but I don't mind that. I can use a bit of sticky on that, or stick something over the top of it. So yes, I've got to make this cover, and then I have the lovely Wendy Mason is doing mixed media challenges in Auntie Vera Land, so I really want to do that as well. I'm just going to continue ripping this since it's already ripped. Yeah. I'll just fold it there, I think. So the mixed media will be heaps of fun because we've got to blow paint through a straw on the page, and I'm thinking I'd get too dizzy doing that. So my son bought a battery operated air blower for cleaning his computer. It seems pretty strong though, so I'll probably make a big mess. Now, I might actually leave this page out. That'll just lessen some of the bulk. So yeah, I'm going to try that. So I might put a box so it doesn't blow all over the place. So when I do that, I might do it on camera so you can laugh at me. I've got a Chinese text page. Just adds a bit of interest having these different sized and style of pages. The why. That is the question, isn't it? Why? Do I want it that way? Do I want it that way? Doesn't matter, Nat. And I've got a paper bag with some sticky tape. So I'm just going to cut the top of the sticky tape off. Like that. Okay, I think we're ready to assemble this now. Now, there was a piece in here I thought was interesting for the start, but it's probably not that one. Oh, I like that one. Got this one. Now I've got our text papers. Got our music page. I'm not sure if I want a specific centre page. Although I do like that. So we might just put that in there. So we're getting there. Now we've got our paper bag. And we've got our small pages. I think I want to this one. Not even going to bother cutting the edge down. It's going to fit in there plenty all right. So that'll be our nice scrappy journal. So I'll just grab out my, don't mind that noise, I've got my window open. Grab this out so we can do the pokey hole thing. And we'll find some, I've got one waxed linen thread that Carolyn gave me. That would look nice. I'm not familiar with it, which makes me nervy. Yeah. So I'll get about 2 lengths of that. And I'll wrap it back up. Thank you, Carolyn. Been too slack to try any wax threads, so. And she's given me, I think this is the needle she gave me, the bookbinder's needle. So we might give that a go. I will use my clips. I'm going to grab a ruler. I think I've got my pages where I want them. They're up the right way. So I'm just going to find the middle, which is back there. And just going to press down in the middle to get them all evenly together. And a clip up the top on this side. Down the bottom on the other side. Oh, like that. Might even fold them down to keep them out of my way a bit. Looking good, and I might even just use the needle for this. Going real slack today, and I will do what I'll do the whole eyeball thing. That looks somewhat middle. Is it gonna work? Don't stab your hand, Nat. Actually, I think I might need to use my tool. I think it's the wallpaper's a bit hard. Yeah, it is the wallpaper. So that's all right. And then we'll go about 1 inch from the top. And about 1 inch from the bottom. It's a bit off centre, but it's not too bad. So I'm just going to do 3-hole pamphlet stitch, nice and easy, hopefully. Done 3-hole pamphlet stitch for ages, and geez, it's quick and easy, isn't it? Always doing the 5-hole these days. There we go. Under there. Take my clips off now. Pull this taut. that feels pretty tight. I'll just double knot. And I will leave dangles because I'm not sure what embellishments I'm going to be doing for this one. Love that. Love the colour of it. It's beautiful. Okay. Okay, so I've got my challenge journal here, all done with the pages in. I was going to decorate the cover, but I'm debating whether I leave that for when I do some of the challenge pieces, because I'll have to pull out, you know, pictures and embellishments and all that to do those. So I might find what I want for the cover then, rather than raiding my materials, just do the cover, putting them away, and then in a few days having to drag stuff out again. So I think what I want to work on today is, for Christmas I bought myself some gifts from Auntie Vera Scrap and Craft, and one of the things was this Eileen Hull thin lit Waterfall die set, and it's a really cool die set, this one. It's got heaps of uses. It's got card, waterfall and tags, it's called. So it's 665154 is the number. So what I thought I might do is have a play with that and make a waterfall in the front of my journal, just here. And I might use that to list the actual challenges. It'll be a bit of fun because then I can remember what the challenge was and then look through and find it in the book. So that is my plan. Let's see how we go. Now, I know that this set was made to go with a specific journal or book that Eileen Hull put out dies to make as well. So the size is set for that. So I'm going to have to figure out how many waterfall flips I want to put in this. So we'll see how we go. I've never used it before, so you can come along with me for the ride. So I'll just grab it out. Now, what's cool about this set too is it has the bits that you can use for the waterfalls, which of course you can cut and use for other things, but also has these little slots. So they're really cool to put into pockets for your tags. So I want to play around with them sometime. And then it even has some tag dies as well. So very, very cool. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with this die set, I reckon. But for now, I'm just going to use, if I can get it out, this piece and this piece for the basis of our waterfall. Now, the elements I want to use are the manila folders. I showed these in my last secondhand Sunday haul. I got a whole lot of stationery items, so they're well used, a few rips and a bit of dust. I thought they're perfect for a junk journal. And I also have some foolscap lined paper, which I'd like to use as well. So I'll grab my scissors. I've got my big shot here with my very worn plates. So what I'm going to do is cut some of this down to fit our dies and the big shot. Whoops, I did a lot of cutting last night. My scissors are feeling a bit blunt. So I don't know whether I want to do, I'll try 2 layers at once and see how we go. So remember to take that plate off. I've been doing that a lot lately, sticking my paper on both plates and wondering where my other plate is, because I'm a bit special in that manner. So I will run that through. Make sure we're straight. Now I usually do it with my left hand, but I thought I'd turn it around because it'd be better for the camera. I'm going to run it back. That cut them out perfectly, so I've got 2 there, so I'll do another 2. So that's that's 4. Just thinking, where is my journal cover? I mean, this is taller than the book, I'm sure, that it's meant for, so I probably could do my 6 because they will sit sort of like that. I think 6 is plenty. So I'll grab another 2. Oh, look, it's got all this marking on the back. It must be from my plate. I do have a few old plates around that probably aren't as bad as that one, so I might have to swap them out. But for today's purposes, it doesn't matter. So the next thing I want to do is cut, let me think, which is hard at the moment because I only got 3 hours sleep at 9 o'clock this morning. Got 6, that's 12. I want to cut out 12 of these with this little die. So, and I want the lines to be up the way I want the lines. Might fit, yeah, I should fit 2 if I go that way. I might even be able to do 4 in one hit here. Just hope I don't run out of the paper. Let's put this all together. Just found that always comes off. All right, so we'll put these pieces in. Won't fit that way, will it? Almost. So, go like that. Try and get the lines somewhat straight. I always move them last minute, especially when I put the plate on, which again, I have the plate on. I'm so good at that. Should just go to bed. But I'm determined. Alright. Alright, so that's 4. Okay, so that's our 12 pieces. So now I have all my waterfall pieces here and my little topper parts I want to write on. What I want to do now is create a backing board to create my waterfall on, especially because my cover has the material on the inside and it's pretty flimsy really, so I don't want to stick my waterfall straight onto that, so I'll do a backing board for it. So what I want to do is make it the same width as one of these. So I'll grab a pencil. I probably don't need a pencil, probably just need a ruler. And we're looking at 3.5 inches. So let's see if I can cut this all straight. And we only need 1 piece. Just looking if I have any straight edges to start with, and it doesn't look like it. I'll turn this around the right way. So I'll just create a straight edge. Now we're not going to need it. I might cut off this bit because it's got these little slits in there. Alright. So I'm just going to straighten up this edge. Do this at the 3.5. And then the bottom, I'm not sure how long I need it yet, so I'll just leave the length and I can trim it off to fit once we've got our waterfall on. So I'll grab my waterfall cards. Now we want to fold it over, because what it does is score the little top bit there, so you know where to fold it, like so. And burnish it. It's looking all right. So I'll repeat that with each one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. So now what we want to do is stick them onto our backing board, which looks like it might be around about the right size. Amazing. We want to stick it flush with the top there. Don't mind me. I'm sure you didn't hear that, which is good. Good soundproofing in this place. Don't know what game my son is playing, but it must be good. And I'm just going to use a bit of double-sided tape, and then I might reinforce it with a tad of I will try my Boyle's glue again, just to make Carolyn happy. I'm going to have a mint. And I might just do a bit of a production line with the glue tape. Of course, it's easy to make these waterfalls without the die set. But how much easier is it with the die set? You don't have to cut them all, then score them all. And they're a really good shape too. And there's a lot of different things I could do with these, I reckon. So they're going to be heaps of fun to play around with. Okay. Now, I was going to stick them down before I did the tops, but I actually think that it would make more sense to put the tops on first. And just let me have a look. I've never done a waterfall before, so I just want to say, yeah, see, I don't think there should be any problem with writing on both sides of this. So that's why I want to put some paper on both sides. We've got some nice lined paper to write on the details of our challenges. So now I have the boring process of adding my tape, double-sided tape, to all of these. So I'll do one and then I'll go off camera and do the rest so you don't have to watch me. Try not to rip my paper when I do this. I was meant to be out in the garden on the weekend, but I haven't got out there at all other than to water last night, so a bit sad about that. Alright, so I'm just going to do my glue tape like that, which will take me a while so I can stick it on, so I'll just finish doing those. Okay, so that opened up a can of worms. I put double-sided tape on all my little bits. Probably would have been quicker just to use the glue, but it's done now. We'll see how it goes. And then I was looking at it and I thought, oh, it's a bit beige. I don't mind beige, but I thought, oh, I reckon a bit of vintage photo will look good. Then, of course, I have to go on ink every piece. But you can see the difference it makes. So I haven't done this one yet, so I must do that now. Yeah, so I'll ink these last few bits. I also inked the back around the backboard. So I ink the last few bits and then stick them together. My son was screaming even louder. I'm sure you must be able to hear it at times. So I said to him, it's all right. If it gets me more subscribers, it's all right. But if I start losing any, he'll hear about it. So, he didn't realise I was doing a video, but I said, it doesn't matter. I said, I'm sure the user will be quite amused. So fortunately, I've got a room in between us and I've got the door shut, so it's not usually too bad. It sounds really loud to me, but then when I listen to the video back, I usually can't hear it. So, and what I've done is I don't need to do the top bit at the back, but I do like to do that bit there. All right, so that's all inked up now. So the next thing I need to do is stick our little sheets on, so that will sit like that. I think I like it with the line up the top for some reason. Must have tea after. Getting a bit hungry. I did have a late lunch. Oh yeah, it must have been a really late lunch. Must have had lunch at like tea time. What's new? Which means it's probably really, really late now and it feels like it's 7 o'clock or something. My routine is not very good at the moment. But I have noticed a lot of my friends up late having trouble with their sleep, so I know I'm not the only one. All right, now the hard part, trying to get it on semi-straight without putting my nose to the paper. That's the problem when you're using double-sided tape. Oh, that's not too bad. All right, and then we flip it up and stick another piece on the back. Not too shabby for me. So that is one of our waterfalls done. So I will finish them all off. Okay, well that was amusing. I finished sticking all the bits on. And then I got to the last waterfall flip and realised I didn't have enough paper. So I had to cut 2 more pieces. So obviously I can't count today. Tell you what, my brain is so not working. I went to take my daughter home today and I'm driving along, chatting away, and then my son goes, "Where are you going?" And I said, "To take your sister home." And just as I said it, I realised I was on the way to her boyfriend's house rather than her house. So thought to myself then I probably shouldn't be driving. But all right, so now we can start assembling this. Now I kind of like this one because it's got all these wrinkled bits. I think it's the impression off of my bottom plate. So I might actually put that on top. So I'm going to turn my card upside down so I can see the end well. And I think for this I will add a little bit of glue. Got some hair there somehow. All right. I like the tip on this glue actually. It's a bit of a finer tip than on the Helmers, which is nice. So, and then we stick this flush with the top of our backing card. That looks pretty good. Is that lined up all right? Oh, that's lined up great. All right, so the idea with our next waterfall is to stick it sort of flush with that bit that's going to annoy me. Stick over the top of it like that. All right. It does not want to come off. I think my son might have shut his door. Maybe he doesn't want to be heard. I just want to make sure it's sitting where I want it. And that one will close. Like that. That's looking all right. There's a bit off the side there. That is better. So you just continue that process. Let's look. Okay, so that is our completed waterfall by the looks, and that glue actually worked really well, so thank you so much, Carolyn. I do like it. I've got to get used to the smell. It's a different smell than the Helmars, and because of my migraines, it's you know, I notice it more, I think, but it wasn't as strong that time as it was last time, so I think I will be able to get used to it. So I think the next thing I'll do is find where I put a cutting mat. I've got my little one here, that'll be perfect. And grab a knife. Now I get dangerous when I do this because of my not being able to cut straight. So let's hope I don't ruin it. I think I need it out more than that. Now, I just want to cut along this bottom edge here. Now, I'm hoping that this bottom bit will guide me. I'm cutting it a bit, but that's all right. It still looks straight. Oh my God, I think I did it all right. Oh my goodness, I mean. I don't want to offend anyone. People are so easily offended these days, including myself. I certainly offend a few every now and again, but I can't keep them all happy, can you? Okay. I really like the way that looks. Very, very happy for my first waterfall. And that dye did make things so much easier. Now, I just need to go down here a bit. So that flips up as well, doesn't it? I should have done another piece of paper for down there, but don't get me started. Now, put that to the side. Now, there's one more thing I want to do before we stick it in. Oh, look at that. That looks great. I found some, it looks like material that I've tea dyed. Yes, it doesn't smell like coffee, so it's beautiful. So I'm thinking I'll use that as my tie. I might have to do it lengthwise, so I will want to take the little hem bit off. Put that to the side because that's a bit rough. Banging and clanging everything around as usual. And I'll do it almost an inch, not quite. 3/4, something like that. Don't know how straight it is. Oh, it's not too bad. Tapers a little bit, but not too bad, so that'll do. My chair's all of a sudden got squeaky. I'll have to get out the WD-40 because that will drive me crazy. Just move my bum on it, that might help. Alright. Must just be whinging. I must have stuck on an extra kilo or something from my son's Hungry Jacks and my daughter's noodle box. Kids, enablers they are. So we want to stick that underneath and use it as a tie, maybe. Yeah, that'll work all right. Just to keep my waterfall closed if need be. Might even, just thinking, some Velcro or something would be good, but I'll worry about that in the future. I can always add if I want to. So let us stick that to the back of our card, like that. So I will just use a bit of double-sided tape for starters. In about the middle. And then I will add some of my Kmart fabric glue. The brand is Anko, but you get it from, well, the Anko brand is Kmart brand stuff. I'm gonna start using this a bit more for my little fabric bits and pieces. And then we will just put that about halfway. It's working nice. I want to get used to using that because I might use it for covers and that because it hasn't seeped through at all, so it might be a better option. And it's nice and cheap too. So that's our tie done, and that will work. So then we've got to stick it down to our whatchamacallit cover. Make sure our cover's up the right way, yes. And again, I might just use double-sided tape around 3 edges. Leave it open at the top to slip a tag in. We'll see how that goes. If we have problems with the tag, we just won't slip it in. I might not do a tag now either because I'm not sure what's coming up with prompts in the future, and it might be a tag or two for some of the prompts that we do to put in here, so I can make one then to slip in if I want to. Now make sure that I'm getting the actual bottom of my waterfall. There. Just saw someone on Marketplace, as usual, selling cheap pianola rolls. I don't want to count how many I already have here, but most of them don't have intact start pieces that are very nice, and so if I can get some cheap ones with the really nice start pieces, that would be lovely. Oh, this lid is, I think, screw it to get it off. Or do you just pull it? There we go. It's a bit difficult for me, that is. So I'm just going to run down and reinforce my double-sided tape with my fabric glue. Since we are sticking onto fabric. And just on the 3 sides. So we have our pocket. Grab it by the top. That'll do. Be nice with little tabs on each one of these. I'll have to do that another time if I make another one, which I'm sure I will, because that was actually quite fun to make. And that way I can test out the fabric glue and see how well it holds in my own personal journal. So with this, I'd probably just leave it like that, or you could double knot it or do a bow or whatever. As I said, in the future, I might sew something onto the ends so I can just clip it shut or something. Could just use some clips too. Something like that looks all right, nice and rustic. I do have a tag here, so that would then go down. Oh yeah, that works. Like that. Might leave. That'll do. It'll do for now. So I think that is it. We can leave it there, and as I said, when I do embellishing for the challenges, I think I'll hunt around then for something for the cover. Just saves me making a mess twice. So yeah, we've done the cover, we've stuck all of our pages in. It's looking really cool. I love the colours. I love this fabric. And we've done our little waterfall, which is going to be nice. I was meant to check that it all flips nicely now. We've glued everything in and that. So yeah, so that works really well. You can flatten them both to write on both sides. It's not too crooked. And we've got the bottom there. It'd be nice with a stamp, so I can embellish this in the future. So if all goes well, I'm hoping to drag this out each month to do the challenges in Auntie Vera Land in, which will be heaps of fun, but I can always add a few bits and pieces to it in between and have a bit of fun. And if you're interested at all in this Eileen Hull waterfall die, I will link Auntie Vera's shop down below for you to check it out, because that is heaps of fun to use. There, that's better. All right, so take care everyone, and I will see you again soon. Bye.